to friends Vivian and Sophie live in the Vestalis Academy, a boarding school that looks more like a prison. They dream of being adopted together, and when they get out, the two of them will look at the sky. Girls line up and wash their faces in front of the camera. Suddenly Sophia drops the cup and asks her friend for help. Vivian runs to help her friend, but unfortunately she does not have time for her turn. She is detained by the guards and led to punishment. She asks her friend to help her, but Sophia was afraid and cried. Later, we are shown adult girls who are watching on TV about how to become pure girls. Vivian tries to follow the rules. Later, both girls are transferred to the 16th level. The girls meet together again, and Vivian says that there is a better girl in every room, and she declares that she will be her. Girls go to drink vitamins. During lunch, Vivian notices Sophie in the hallway, who is exploring the area. At Vivian's exit from the toilet, Sophie was waiting for her, who asks to talk. She starts a conversation about the incident with the fallen cup, but Vivian suddenly grabs her and pushes her into the store and tells her not to tell anyone about it, to which Sophie replies that she just wanted to apologize. The meeting begins. Miss Brexel comes into the room. She says that level 16 is the last, and since sponsors will come for them who will choose their adopted daughters, she gives them dresses. Vivian admires her dress and tries to write her name, while Sophie is sitting with a sad face. All the girls went to bed except Sophie. During the cleaning, Sophie comes to Vivian, but she again does not want to talk. She follows the rules and sure that she will be chosen soon. Sophie tells her not to take vitamins. Vivian's friend suggests that Sophie is not clean, which is why the girls are fighting, and Vivian says that she is not her friend. This time Vivian flushes vitamins down the toilet. At night, Vivian notices that everyone has fallen asleep except her. She has scratched another down the headboard of the bed, and she tried to wake up the girl next to her. Sophie hears her and says that the girls will not wake up because vitamins put them to sleep. The door opens and Miss Brixel comes in and takes the girls with her. Sophie notices that Vivian has been taken away. The guard puts her in a chair. She looks around and continues to pretend to be asleep. Sponsors come into the room, and Miss Brixel presents the girls' looks. The sponsor woman looks at herself in the mirror and says she will buy a girl who lies next to Vivian. Vivian is returned to the room, and other girls are taken away. She's shocked that the sponsors are going to buy them. Sophie suggests to run away, but Vivian does not even try because she believes that the air is poisoned. Miss Brixel comes into the room again and takes Sophie away. Vivian decides to leave the room. She runs down the corridor and realizes that the cameras would not do anything to her. In the morning, Sophie tells Vivian that she had learned about the action of vitamins at level 12. But Vivian continues to believe that you need to follow the rules and still holds a grudge against Sophie. Vivian comes to the doctor, who gives everyone injections. He asks her about the skin. Vivian talks about batches on the back, which are formed in all girls after sleep because of the bows on their dresses. Vivian met with Rita. She told about what a wonderful day she had. She was chosen by sponsors. The girls all watch the movie together. They quote every line together in the characters of the movie. At night, Vivian and Sophie discuss that the cameras are not doing anything. Sophie suggests telling everyone about vitamins, telling them not to take them either. But Vivian is against it because she is afraid of punishment. Vivian decides to talk to the doctor. They started talking about films. She said that they know them. The doctor promised that he would show them a new film. During the games time, one of the girls gets sick. The other one wants to call the guards because she does not want to get infected from the unclean, to which Vivian tells her to shut up. Sophie again urges Vivian to tell the girls everything and come up with a plan. But Vivian thinks the doctor will help them. Sophie says that at night, when everyone was asleep, the guard came to them and touched them. While watching a lecture about skin, suddenly a new movie starts playing. Vivian goes to the doctor. He examines her, says that she is healthy. She discusses the film with him, clearly thinking that she has become friends with him. But he decides to give her the vaccine, despite the fact that he said she was healthy. To Vivian's question, he replies, "Don't talk to me like that." She says that some of the girls got sick from the injections. The doctor said to inform Miss Brexel, but Vivian says that she works with the guards and will not help them. To which the doctor asks if she drinks pills. He tells her when girls behave the way she behaves, he is ordered to call security. He gives her an injection of vitamins, from which she is clearly ill. When Sophie approached Vivian, she told her that she was not clean and it was better not to sit next to her. to which Sophie replies that she's fine. Vivian tells her that she keeps a calendar at the head of the bed. Sophie tells her that she plans to steal the card from the guard. He secretly comes to them at night. Vivian starts shouting no, which attracts attention to herself. Two girls inform on Vivian. Miss Brixel comes after her, punishes her, and thrusts her into a small room. Miss Brixel herself is chatting with the doctor at this time and drinking. From their conversation, we learn that their business is not paying off. At night, Sophie executes her plan. When the guard goes to touch one of the sleeping girls, Sophie attacks him from behind with a rope. They fight with the guard. She takes the card from him and runs to Vivian to free her, but suddenly an alarm sounds. Sophie runs away. In the morning, Miss Brixel gathers all the girls. The doctor says that because Sophie stole the card, until they get it back, he will punish each of them every day until they return the card to him. He takes one of the girls, Rita. This time, Miss Brixel personally checks that everyone eats a pill. At night, Vivian pierces her hand with a hairpin to stay awake and goes in search of the card that Sophie hid. She finds a card at the head of the bed, but the card doesn't work anymore. She unscrews the bolts on the door with the card. When she came out, Miss Brixel noticed. Vivian asks her where Sophie is, to which she replies that they switch places on each level so as not to see each other. She still says Sophie is from below and tries to inject Vivian with something, but Vivian hits her and injects herself with a syringe. She picks up the card and follows Sophie before looking up at the moon and sky, which she has never seen. She finds Sophie. They enter a room where Vivian finds a knife and cut the rope on Sophie. The girls look around, not understanding what this place is. Vivian pulls back the curtains. They set to bags. One of them says Rita. Vivian unzips the bag, and they are horrified to find Rita, who no longer has skin. Vivian wants to run away with Sophie, but Sophie decides to help the other girls. Vivian gives the card to Sophie. Sophie says that she has already left her friend once, but now she is not afraid, and she runs to save others, asking Vivian to wait for her. Sophie goes to the girls, says that Miss Brixel gave them a task to wake up the girls from other buildings. Vivian, meanwhile, decides to take a walk around the building and goes into the room for sponsors, where she accidentally turns on the TV. She learns that they are grown only for facial skin. They sell them to adult women. Sophie tries to explain to the girls that this is not an orphanage at all, and suddenly Vivian enters the room with Miss Brixel tied up. Vivian says that they have been living on a leather farm all this time and that the sponsors are not going to adopt them. The sponsors only need their skin. All the girls find out that Miss Brixel also sewed someone's face. They put her in a small room. They all start running away from this place together. Sophie is attacked by a security guard. He wounds her. Vivian fights with him and throws him off the roof. The guards start running after the girls with guns. Because of Sophie's wound, they cannot escape. They decide to hide in the barn. The doctor approaches them, says that he saved them from poverty, that they had no future. He asks Vivian and Sophie to come out. Vivian asks how much her face is worth, to which the doctor replies that he has given this face 16 years of his life and will not go anywhere without it. In order for the doctor to leave, Vivian scratches her face. The men call the doctor and they kill him because his project didn't pay off. In the morning, the police break down the door. The girls are released and they look at the sky together. Subscribe and like.